When it comes to faith, it's a whole different ball game, and the Lord had to reveal to me. Are y'all ready for this? Okay, so I want to share a quick message of encouragement in hopes that my story can inspire someone else. If you've seen any other videos on my page, then you've probably noticed that I am very passionate about all things career development and all things faith. However, when I started career coaching back in 2018, I kept those two things pretty separate. When I would meet with clients, I had a talk track that focused specifically on the actions that they could control. It wasn't until someone would bring up God or introduce him into the conversation that I began to expand on the important role that faith played in everything. And so back then I had a lot of reasons why I was doing that, and I can go into that in another video, but it wasn't until a recent wrestling with God that I got to the root of it all. So the Lord revealed to me that naturally I want to default to areas where I feel strong. It's like human nature, right? We want to do things where we feel like we can do a good job. No one is necessarily raising their hand or signing up for something that they don't think they'll do well in. And so when it comes to career development, I had formal career coaching training. I was often encouraged by the near immediate results I was seeing. So someone securing a new job, someone negotiating and getting a higher salary. Those things were reaffirming. Yes, Candace, you have expertise in this area, and it shows. When you share that expertise with others, they succeed. Now, when it comes to faith, although I've been walking this thing out with the Lord for quite some time now, I feel like every single day there is something new to discover. And so during this wrestling with God, I had to be honest with him and let him know that I just don't feel qualified to lead when it comes to faith. When it comes to career development, I have my training to fall back on. I have all of these previous results to fall back on. I have tangible, visible things that I can point to. When it comes to faith, it's a whole different ball game, and the Lord had to reveal to me. Are y'all ready for this? When I told him, Lord, I just don't feel qualified to lead, his response was, that is exactly why you are the person for the job. Whew, y'all. The Lord had to remind me that when it comes to leading people in faith, it has very little to do with your resume, your accolades, your training, all of these things, right? It really has to do with you having a heart that's submitted to God, you recognizing that you can't do it in your own strength. So what to you not feeling qualified each day, humbling yourself to submit your plans, your words, your ways, your actions to the Lord and allowing him to lead. That is how he's going to get the most out of you for the kingdom. And so I was essentially like, heard, bet, got you. And while it's been fun to bring that energy here, I am excited to announce that the Winner Circle is back. For those of you who don't know, back in November of 2021, I started an online career community for women who really wanted to focus on career growth. And naturally, because I'm so passionate about faith, it really felt like this space where we were focused on careers with a little side of Jesus. And so back in November of this past year, so 2023, the Lord told me to pause the Winner Circle, which I did. So initially I thought it was to restructure the membership tiers, but during this time, the Lord impressed upon me the need for his daughters to keep faith at the forefront of all that they do. And so it was really this calling me higher and calling me into this position to be able to speak to careers, but through the lens of calling, alignment, conviction, no longer talking about careers with the side of Jesus, but instead talking about careers through that lens, right? Through the lens of faith. Remembering that we are called to be women of God first, above all else. And so I am very excited. I can't wait to see all that God is going to accomplish through this community. I'm ready, and not because I know the Bible cover to cover and am crystal clear on every single thing that the word says in regards to work and career and calling and all of the things, but because I know that God has so strategically called me into this moment for such a time as this. And I am ready. I am sick and tired of the enemy trying to convince women that their dreams are too big, that they are too small to accomplish the things that God has placed into their hearts. And that is what we're going to be speaking to. So I hope that you too will recognize that whatever God is calling you to do, wherever He is leading you, He will provide you with everything that you need. You don't have to have it all figured out day one. I am a living, breathing testament to that. You don't have to have it all figured out, and you don't even have to see how it's all going to work out in the end. You just have to take that first step in obedience. I cannot communicate enough. Even creating this YouTube channel was taking the first step in obedience. And if you are in need of community to walk alongside you as you walk this thing out, it's my sincere hope that you will join us inside the Winner Circle.